Welcome everybody back to a new episode of Today's Combat with CCL Townsend. I'm your host, CCL Townsend, the host of the show, as you guys know. And today, guys, we got a little shorter podcast episode. It's been a long day for me today. I've been out doing a lot of stuff, and I want to hereby apologize because the past couple of episodes we've actually been not uploading them on Sundays. We've been uploading them on Mondays, so we might have to do that from now on. I think the Monday release is kind of the move. It gives me an extra day to edit the podcast and make sure everything's not rushed and it's well edited and it's not really, it's a good podcast. Like, we don't want to just put things out to rush. So from now on, I'm thinking that we are going to be dropping episodes on Mondays now. Once again, you can find the podcast if you're watching on YouTube. You're seeing me here right now talking into this microphone. If you're watching on Spotify, you are listening to me talking to this microphone. So yeah, we are just currently on Spotify and YouTube. We might work our way to other podcast platforms, probably for second season, which we're going to be getting into real quick before we start talking about one of the best boxing matches of the year. But we are about to be getting into the second season. We are on episode 6, and it's been 6 weeks since we did the first episode of Today's Combat with Charlie Taylor when we reviewed UFC 299 and Ngannou versus Joshua. So we got one more episode, you guys, and then it is the end of season 1 of Today's Combat with CCL Townsend. And that next episode is going to be next Monday, and it will be released after we watch Canelo Alvarez versus Jaime Munguia. And that is going to be a great boxing match, you guys. Both are fantastic fighters, and it has potential to beat the fight that we're about to talk about, because this fight is just had me on the edge of the seat my whole time. It literally came out with a fucking bang, and that shit was fucking I just can't wait to talk about it. Another thing is that the second season is going to start kind of weird. I'm gonna get a little more into that maybe at the end of the episode, but I'm just gonna say that the second season of Today's Combat is going to be a little weird, and we're going to get into why that is. But we are gonna talk about that at the end of the episode, because we're gonna get into the review right now. Because yesterday I had the privilege of watching Ryan Garcia versus Devin Haney, the Dream versus the King. And if you would have asked me to bet money on this fight, I was going to bet money on Devin Haney, because Devin Haney undefeated. He's the super lightweight champion of the world, and it's crazy because Ryan Garcia really got all of us. We all got honestly, because what he's been doing on Twitter, what he's been putting on everything, like just how crazy he's been acting. Like, honestly, this is one of the best build-ups to any boxing match ever, because we're over here listening to Ryan Garcia be fucking crazy, like talking crazy out of his mind. He's not really taking the fight seriously in the build-up. He fucking chugged a beer during the weigh-in. As he's standing on the scale, he chugs a beer. That's fucking crazy. And no one would really expect Ryan to come into this fight the way he did, because Devin Haney is just such a good fighter. He's undefeated for a reason. He was 31-0. Like, he's undefeated for a reason. So everybody that Devin Haney has faced, he has fucking come out with a good performance, a good win. And Ryan Garcia, the last time we saw him box, it was against Oscar Duarte, and he had a pretty good fucking knockout when it came to Oscar Duarte. But before that, it was against Tank Davis, and he got knocked out by Tank Davis by a liver shot. And comparing Ryan's physique from the Tank fight to the fight with Devin Haney, it honestly looks like two different fighters. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a big fan of Ryan Garcia. I don't really like Ryan Garcia, and I'm going to get a little to more on why I don't like Ryan Garcia a little later on. I just want to explain a little bit of things before we talk about the fight itself. But I'm not a big fan of Ryan Garcia, and I am a pretty big fan of Devin Haney. Devin Haney is in my top 5 boxers right now, my top 5 favorite boxers right now. And I honestly wasn't expecting what happened in the fight. I really thought Devin Haney was going to win. I thought that it was going to not be easy, but my prediction was that it was either going to make it to the 6th round, or it was going to go all 12. And I was kind of right with the prediction with that. It did go all 12 rounds, but there were some certain points to where it probably shouldn't have gone all 12 rounds. But yeah, back to the build-up. The build-up for the fight was absolutely insane. Ryan Garcia talking about the Illuminati and talking about, I don't know what the other thing he was talking about is called, but it was like some type of cult type of thing, and that they were raping little kids and talking about, some weird shit. And, like, when you hear some shit like that, it's kind of hard to believe, because he's talking about, like, a bunch of weird shit, and, his fucking promoter is Oscar De La Hoya, and he's known to do coke. Like, he's a former pro boxer himself, and everybody knows Oscar De La Hoya was a coke addict. Everybody knows that's what he does. So what's stopping Ryan Garcia from following in his promoter's footsteps? Like nothing's really stopping him. He's got fame, he's got everything, and what he did after the fight too. I mean, it goes to show, like, maybe Ryan Garcia was doing that. So it really gave a lot of people vibes that he was, like, off of some sort of drug, some sort of substance. And when you do that stuff and you're, like, promoting it on Twitter before you have one of the biggest fights of the year, no one's going to really expect you to come out the way you came out in the fight. So everybody got. The fans got. Devin Haney got. Devin Haney's team got. Everybody got in the fights, because no one was expecting it. Everybody thought there was going to be a win for Devin Haney, either by knockout or by a decision. But I can't believe that what we got is what we got, because I was not expecting it. I was watching the fight with Anthony Vasquez, and I was telling him the whole fight. I was like, look, dude, there's no way Ryan Garcia wins. No way Ryan Garcia wins. And, there's no, like, you're not supposed to doubt your opponent. I've talked about this on previous episodes. You never doubt your opponent, never underestimate your opponent. But the thing is that Ryan Garcia chugged a beer at the press conference. There's speculation about him doing drugs, all this type of stuff. And then when you come into when you come into the fight like that, it's going to be kind of hard to really expect anything out of it. Ryan Garcia is a great fighter, don't get me wrong, but personally, I really think Devin Haney is the better fighter. And going into the fight, it was really like a no-brainer for me that Devin Haney was going to win. So this is why what happened was so crazy. Let's just get into the fight, because round one, it was a 12-round fight, and in round one, oh my gosh, literally almost right off the bat, Ryan Garcia catches Haney with a left hook, and that shit rocks Haney in the first round. And that shit really fucking got him good, because you saw Devin literally stumble back. He was having trouble keeping his hands up after that, which is a big factor that played into the fight for Ryan Garcia getting the win. Ryan Garcia did win the fight, and going in, like, that was a huge factor of him getting able to beat Devin Haney, because one, the power of Ryan Garcia's left hand, and two, Devin Haney just kept dropping guard. From the first round to maybe round 2 or 3, like, honestly, round 1 and 2, he was still struggling with keeping his hands up. But after that, it seemed like Devin Haney had, like, he knew what he was fucking up on. He kept dropping guard. He knew that, and he kept fixing it every time it got to that point. But even then, afterwards, he just went back to the same way. He was dropping guard. He had his hands way too low, and that was giving Ryan Garcia the advantage to throw that left hook and catch him. So, Devin Haney was still doing pretty good in the fight. I gave round 1 to Ryan Garcia for obvious reasons. He rocked him with that left hook literally almost immediately when the fight started, and after that had control the rest of the first round. Second round, I gave second round to Devin. Devin caught Ryan with some really good shots. And another thing about Devin throughout the whole fight is Devin was working the body on Ryan Garcia very well, because Ryan Garcia was doing his shoulder roll tactics, like what we saw at Oscar Duarte, and his shoulder roll is not good. I'm sorry. Like, people tried to defend it with Oscar Duarte, saying, oh, he's just trying something new. Ryan, get rid of it, bro. The fucking shoulder roll does not work with you. It really doesn't, because a shoulder roll, you're supposed to, just keep that shit up, just fucking throw it over, Ryan was exposing his whole back. Like, he wasn't even just rolling the shoulder to dodge the shots. He was literally rolling it over to the side to where his whole back was exposed. And when you have your whole back exposed and your hands are here because you're using your shoulder roll tactic, guess what else is open? Your main body. And guess what took out Ryan Garcia in the fight before Oscar Duarte? A body shot by Tank Davis, which put him out in the 7th round. So Ryan Garcia should have learned with that. He kept exposing that body too much. Devin was using that fucking straight right to the body, like, over and over and over. He was literally just popping it into the body, and he was landing those shots. He was getting it fucking really good on Ryan Garcia. He was fucking putting the damage there. And he kept exposing his back, his full back. He was getting hit in the back as well. And, I think Ryan definitely needs to abandon the shoulder roll because it's just not his thing. Here's the thing. There's many things Ryan Garcia is good with. He's good with that left hook. That left hook is absolute power. He's great with speed. He's great with his footwork. Head movement, debatable, but he's still pretty good with a lot of things that he does in the ring. But that shoulder roll is not one of them, and he needs to abandon that immediately. With Devin Haney, a thing that I really noticed, the most flawed thing that I noticed with Devin Haney in the fight is kept dropping guard. He really did. He was going from here, and then he was going to here. He was going to here. Like, he was just like, he just had his hand, at least one hand, very, very low majority of the time. And especially he had that left hand low, which is going to get him caught with that left hook by Ryan Garcia, which is going to take him out, which we then saw later in the fight. And, I can't really say much because step in the ring with Devin Haney or Ryan Garcia, I probably lose the both. But I'm just saying from what I saw and what I seen is the main reason of why both of these guys were getting hit with some good shots. Devin Haney caught him with some good shots. Devin Haney's jab too. I want to give him props to that because Ryan Garcia's like MVP moment of the whole fight was his left hook. His left hook was his best punch throughout the whole fight. It landed majority of the time. He was overextending it a little bit, and he was throwing it really wide, which was kind of predictable for Devin Haney, but Devin Haney didn't really do nothing with that. It wasn't really calculating when, Ryan Garcia was going to throw that left hook because he was throwing it over and over and over, and it was kind of, becoming hard to predict when he was going to throw it. And, with Ryan Garcia was definitely his move of the entire fight was the left hook, but Devin Haney's was the jab. Devin Haney was working that jab the whole fight. He kept fucking him up. He kept stunning him, and he was using that to set up bigger shots. Devin Haney did catch Ryan Garcia with a good-ass fucking straight right. I don't know if it was a straight right or overhand. I want to say it could have been a right overhand. Actually, I think it might have been a left hook. Now that I'm thinking about it, because I think he feinted him with his right. He threw his right out like that, and he slipped to the side a little bit, and he popped him with the left hook, and that stunned Ryan Garcia. Like, you could tell Ryan Garcia went back. He was fucking getting pissed. You could tell how mad Ryan Garcia got with that fucking punch. So he faked him out with the right, came back in, caught him with the left, and his jab, though, like, that was just one moment with Devin Haney where he got Ryan Garcia with the left hook. But besides that, his jab was just the MVP of the whole fight for Devin Haney. And, back to the analyzing of the fight. Round 2, I definitely gave it to Devin Haney. Devin Haney was using his jab with perfection. Round 3, also gave it to Devin Haney. Round 4, also gave it to Devin Haney. Like, Devin Haney, I honestly, after that first round, I thought, honestly, it could just be a clean sweep. Maybe Ryan Garcia just got lucky in the first round. Maybe Devin Haney wins. Whew. Not what happened. Not what happened one bit. Because Ryan really caught me off guard. And I'm still kind of shocked about it because I really, really thought Devin Haney had this fight in the bag because of everything Ryan Garcia is talking about online and stuff. Like, like I said in the beginning, everybody got. So it's kind of hard for me to even talk about it because it's crazy how everybody got fooled. Everybody really thought Ryan Garcia was crazy. Everybody really thought that he was on drugs, all this type of shit. And he comes and he beats Devin Haney. Now, the belt wasn't on the line because Ryan Garcia missed weight. He weighed in at 143 while Devin Haney weighed in at 140. And the super lightweight belt was supposed to be on the line if Ryan Garcia made weight, but he didn't make weight. But so the fight did continue, and Ryan Garcia won, which ended Devin Haney's undefeated record, but Ryan Garcia didn't win the belt. So, that being said, there's probably going to be a rematch, but we'll talk more about that towards the end. But, yeah, so I gave round 1 to Ryan, round 2, 3, 4, and 5, I think, to Devin Haney. I think I had it, I want to say, at that point it was 4-1. I had it 4-1 for Haney. Then round 5, I think Ryan came back with some decent shots. Ryan came back with some decent shots, and I gave it to Ryan. I think round 5, and then I had it 4-2. And then I think it was round 6 or 7 because I did, like I said in the beginning, my prediction for the whole fight was to have it either end in round 6 or have it go all 12 rounds. So when it got to the 6th round, I was locked in. I was paying attention. I was trying to see who could have possibly got the knockout. And honestly, I knew deep down if anybody was going to get a knockout win, real shit, it was going to be Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia already stunned him in the first round. And, you know, forgive me if I'm wrong, but I don't know if it was round 6 or round 7, but Ryan caught him with that left hook once again. That dropped Devin Haney for the first time in his career. Devin Haney hits the canvas, and that had me literally putting my head down. I was in disbelief. It was so clean too. That's what fucking gets me so mad, because it was such a clean left hook that Ryan Garcia hit on him, and it just put Devin Haney to the canvas, which is just fucking insane to me. And immediately afterwards, drops him again. It's crazy. And I gave round 6 and 7 to Ryan Garcia. So then I think that put it at like 4-3 with Ryan Garcia in favor. Round 8, I think I gave it to Devin Haney, because Devin Haney was coming back a little bit in the later rounds. So I think I then had it tied 4-4. And round 9, I think I gave round 9 to Ryan Garcia. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I gave round 9 to Ryan Garcia as well. And then round 10, I gave it to Ryan Garcia. So at that time, I was thinking to myself, I was like, okay, look, Devin Haney needs to win round 11, and he needs to win round 12 if he wants to either get the win by a split or if he wants to get a majority draw. And he didn't win round 11, and Devin Haney didn't win round 12. So the first judge that they kept showing his scorecard on the screen, he had the fight at a draw. He had the fight as a majority draw between Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia. And, you know, at the time, out of the recency of the fight, like once the fight was over, I could have seen it going to a draw. Looking back at highlights, and no. There's no way. And the decision was right. Ryan Garcia won by majority decision. And, you know, I'm not mad because Ryan Garcia won. I'm mad because we all got fucking fooled by Ryan Garcia. Ryan Garcia really used this shit to his advantage to trick us and to doubt him, and he won. Which is absolutely crazy to me, that you could really trick whoever in the sport of boxing if you just act a little fucking crazy and get your opponent thinking you're not doing shit, not taking the fight seriously, and then you come out like that and then you get the fucking win in some, honestly, a dominating fashion. He dropped Devin Haney 4 times. Like, Devin Haney hasn't been dropped once in his career, and he got dropped 4 times in a singular fight by Ryan Garcia, someone that everybody thought wasn't taking the fight seriously, thought that he was going to come out just be goofy, not even try, honestly. And he drops him 4 times and gets the win. That's actually fucking crazy to me. So props to Ryan Garcia. He put on a great performance, but I got to put credit where credit's due. Give props to Devin Haney too, you guys, because just because he got dropped 4 times, Devin Haney is still a fantastic fighter. And, you know, every time he got dropped, he got back up. And that's another thing, too. There were some moments to where when Devin Haney got dropped, the referee kind of acting a little weird, you know. I've seen some people thinking that the referee had money on Devin Haney, that the referee wasn't really taking his job seriously, that he was just, you know, not even really giving a fuck, was trying to see if Devin Haney can come out and get the win. And I want to say that I only saw, out of the 4 knockdowns, I saw 2 times where the ref just got him up. Didn't really check the gloves, you know, didn't really talk to him, just put him right back into the fight. But the other 2 times, I saw a conversation with the ref and Devin Haney. I saw him check the gloves. I saw him do a standing 8 count on every time, but he didn't do he didn't do the rest of all the other factors when it came to it. So, you know, it was the 2 out of the 4 times he did it. The other 2 he didn't. So the ref really should have made sure Devin Haney was more okay, but still, every time Devin Haney got back up, he went back into the fight. He was still throwing shots. He didn't look wobbled at all. I think that what happened is that Ryan just caught him with some really good shots that really didn't do any after damage and only really did it in the moment, which stunned him and sent him to the canvas. That's just what I think. I think that it wasn't so much of Ryan uh like stumbling him and like giving him a lot of hardcore damage to the head for the rest of the fight. I think it was just stunned. Like Devin got stunned, he got set to the canvas, got back up, got stunned again, got sent to the canvas, got back up, and then the other two times just got stunned, got to the canvas, got back up. I don't think that he was really close to being knocked out cold. I don't think so. In my opinion, I don't think he was really close to getting knocked out cold, but I think that he was definitely stunned by those hits and made it harder for him to get back up. But I feel like after he got up and he realized what he was doing and really got his head back in it, he was good until he got caught with some more extra shots. So, yeah. So, definitely, if not one of the best or not the best fight of the year when it comes to boxing, because these two were back and forth. That fucking first round where Ryan just came out and just fucking caught him and stumbled Devin in the first round, that shit was crazy to me. Like, it really showed where the fight was going to go, and we didn't even see it. Like, we thought, oh, maybe the first round was just a fluke. Devin Haney's going to come back, maybe get points, maybe possibly knock out Ryan Garcia. No. Ryan showed us in the first round what was going to happen for the rest of the fight, and that's what happened for the rest of the fight. And I see a lot of people thinking that the ref should have stopped the fight after, I think, the third or fourth knockdown, that they should have stopped the fight. You could debate and you could argue that they should have, but I don't know. For me, I think that Devin was fine. Like I just said, like, I feel like it was more of just a stun shot than a shot that would actually do more significant damage after he gets back up. I don't know. I genuinely think Devin Haney wasn't close to getting knocked out cold. I think that he just got stunned by the shots. And now, look, like I said in the beginning, so if anybody thinks that I'm being biased towards Devin Haney and not Ryan Garcia, let me just say this again so you guys can shut the fuck up and not put words in my mouth. I'm saying that Ryan Garcia is the better fighter after that fight. After that performance, Ryan Garcia is the better fighter over Devin Haney. But like I'm saying though, Ryan Garcia, that left hook, it is brutal. If you get caught with it, you could be screwed for the rest of the fight. And we've seen that. We saw that with Oscar Duarte when he got hit with that left hook. He was fucking stumbling too, and it looked like he was wobbled for the rest of the fight till he got knocked out. But with Devin Haney, he got back up and he was still able to put a little bit of a fight on the Ryan Garcia, which is why I think that he wasn't really close to getting knocked out cold. Like a fucking good-ass knockout like what we saw with Gaethje and Holloway in UFC 300. I don't see a fucking knockout like that. I think he just got stunned by the shots, sent him to the canvas, and then he got back up. That's what I genuinely think happened. But no matter what, no matter which way you put it, Ryan Garcia was the winner. And what I think happens from here on out, I think that we could see a rematch between Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia, but this time Ryan Garcia makes weight, and we see the belt on the line. And, I want to say Devin Haney could possibly come back in the rematch and get the win, but at the same time, don't want to underestimate Ryan, because Ryan could just pull some more bullshit. Ryan could just be doing the same shit that he did in this past camp and just do the Twitter shit and have everybody underestimate him again. Then he comes out and starts beating the shit out of Devin Haney. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Ryan Garcia won the rematch and actually won the belt this time, but at the same time, I kind of feel like Devin Haney is more prepared for Ryan Garcia than he was before. So, in my opinion, I don't really know who gets the rematch if there's a belt on the line. I don't really know who gets it, but I'm leaning more towards Ryan Garcia after that brutal performance by him. But it won't surprise me if Devin Haney just catches on and realizes that he needs to work on certain things and certain shit before he goes and fights Ryan Garcia again. So, like I said, won't surprise me if we see Ryan Garcia get the win over him in a rematch and win the belt. But, feel like we should also not underestimate Devin Haney now, because Devin Haney knows what he's getting himself into now. Devin Haney's prepared for Ryan Garcia. He's going to take it more seriously, thinking that, oh, Ryan's not joking. Ryan fucking fooled us in the last fight camp. He's not going to fool us in the next fight camp. We're going to be fucking prepared. We're ready to go to war, and we're going to beat Ryan Garcia this time, and we're going to retain the belt. So, don't underestimate Devin Haney, because now Devin Haney knows. That's the bad thing about boxing rematches, is that you know what to expect now. You know what to go in. You can go in with a mindset of like, that's how they did it to me in the last fight. This is how I'm gonna do it to him in this fight. Like, it's like that. You gotta like look at what you just went through and how to work on it, how to better it, and how to fix it. And I feel like Devin Haney is going to do that, and he's going to come back better if they do eventually have a rematch. But like I said, as of right now, I am definitely leaning more towards Ryan Garcia if they do have a rematch. A fight I do need to see, though, is Shakur Stevenson versus Ryan Garcia, which I think could be next up if they don't have a rematch, or could even happen after the rematch, because Shakur Stevenson and Ryan Garcia did make a deal saying that if Ryan won the fight against Devin Haney, that next it would be Ryan Garcia versus Shakur Stevenson, and Shakur Stevenson is arguably the best in the lightweight division in boxing now. Joaquin Miranda, you guys know him. That is his favorite boxer currently. And he, there was a bit where Shakur Stevenson was saying that he was retired. And he was retired for maybe like a week or two. And then he came back saying, oh, I'm not retired. I'm going to do a couple more fights. Yeah, like all that shit. He was never going to retire. And I'm happy that he didn't, even if he was even considering it. Because Shakur Stevenson and Ryan Garcia, after that performance by Ryan, that's a fight I need. I need to see that. Some people think it's going to be a clinch fest. Some people think they're going to hug a lot, which is another thing Devin Haney did in the fight. Devin Haney hugged a lot and clinched a lot in the fight with Ryan Garcia, which could have been avoided, but I feel like that also gave him a little bit more time to recover from the left hook shots. But no matter what, I feel like Shakur Stevenson and Ryan Garcia is a fight that needs to happen. That would make a lot of money, because you see how Devin Haney and the Ryan Garcia fight did with pay-per-view buys and pay-per-view sales and attendance records and all that stuff. Imagine Shakur Stevenson versus Ryan Garcia. Like, I'm telling you, this fight would be good. Think it's a clinch fest. You guys could think that, but I'm telling you, Shakur Stevenson is the best in the lightweight division. Arguably, Tank can go above. I personally have Tank above, but when it comes to pound for pound, like looking at, because Tank definitely has more power than Shakur Stevenson, but when it comes to technique, I think Shakur Stevenson has better technique than Gervonta Davis. But a fight that I need to see is Ryan Garcia versus Shakur Stevenson. And then if Ryan can somehow beat Shakur Stevenson, then I feel like Ryan has a way better shot if he were to go down the road and have a little rematch with Tank Davis. Because if he can go and beat Devin Haney, who's undefeated, 31-0, then he can go and beat Shakur Stevenson, who's also undefeated. Then can he go and beat Tank Davis in a rematch? Now, the only thing that factors into that is that not next month, but in June, we see Tank Davis versus Frank Martin, and that's a fight that I want to see, because Frank Martin's got crazy power, crazy speed. I'm pretty sure he had allegations of steroid use, but like even then, that just putting more odds against Tank Davis. And if Gervonta can go and beat Frank Martin, he's been established, but that makes him even more established, which when Ryan goes and fights him and has a rematch with him, it puts more on the line. Then we have Better Biev is on the undercard too. That's going to be, oh dude, I just can't wait for June, because almost every weekend in June there is a fight card. We have a boxing match with Nate Diaz and Jorge Masvidal. We have June 29th, International Fight Week, Conor McGregor, Michael Chandler. June 2nd, we have Poirier and Makhachev for the lightweight title in UFC. We have so many fight cards in June. It's not even funny, and I am so excited for June. And I'm just excited to see what's next for Ryan Garcia and Devin Haney. Honestly, most possible outcome, we probably see a rematch in the next 6 months or so for the belt. And then after that, I think we could see Ryan Garcia versus Shakur Stevenson. And then maybe after that, maybe against Tank Davis, depending on how it goes with Frank Martin. But that's just my predictions. And yeah, you guys, so that's it for the fight right now. But I want to, before we end off the episode, I do want to talk about the second season. I did say, like, towards the end of the episode, I was going to talk more about what the second season of Today's Combat is going to look like. And the second season is going to start on May 18th. Well, not May 18th, probably May 20th, because we're going to start releasing on Mondays now, like I said. But yeah, May 20th is going to be the release of the first episode of season 2, which is going to be Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk for the undisputed heavyweight title, and that's going to be that review. But the thing about season 2, you guys, is that we aren't going to be uploading every weekend. So that's the only bad thing. we're not going to be uploading every weekend. We're going to be uploading when there's fight cards or when we have upcoming guests or something that we need to make a little slot for. But don't expect an episode every weekend. If there is going to be an episode, you could check it out on my Instagram, which is at the CCL Townsend. And I will do a reminder maybe a couple days before the event starts and be like, hey, we will be having a podcast episode drop this upcoming Monday to review Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk, to review, for example, Makhachev versus Poirier, like stuff like that we will review, and you can check that out on my Instagram if you guys want reminders or anything, or if you just want to be 100% sure that there's going to be a podcast. And if we have an upcoming guest, we will be posting it on there as well, saying we will be having an episode with so-and-so this upcoming weekend. So check it out on YouTube and Spotify. So, yeah, when the second season comes around, don't expect episodes every weekend. But if you see an announcement for one, there will be an episode. So, yes, the second season starts on May 20th with Tyson Fury versus Alexander Usyk. And season 1 ends next Monday after the fight between Canelo Alvarez and Jaime Munguia. And yeah, you guys, pretty good episode of today's combat, and great fight once again. Gotta give props to Ryan Garcia, gotta give props to Devin Haney. So you guys, thank you for tuning in. Great fight once again, and I will see you next time on today's combat for Canelo versus Jaime Munguia, and deuces.